Hi there, it's Roy from Sabers. What we have today is a quick video on how to change a battery within your N series Sabers, and this will cover the majority of N series Saber models, which kind of have a similar core. Now, the reason you may want to change your battery is if you've ever left your Saber uncharged for a long period of time, lithium-ion cells can become exhausted within the Saber and go bad. So it's normally a case of just popping in a new replacement cell and you'll be all ready to go. Basically what happens is the cell is within your Saber. Your Saber, despite being in deep sleep, is still active and draws power like all electrical devices do. And that will slowly deplete your cell to absolute zero charge over a long period of time, and we're talking a few months here. So if you pop your Saber in the corner and left it for 4, 5, 6 months without using it or recharge, you may find yourself in this situation. So like I said, just like with any electrical device, if you're not going to use it for a long period of time, maybe just remove the cell. So this video will cover that as well. Of note, what normally happens is the cell depletes to zero, and sometimes the charging circuit has trouble recognizing there's a cell in there, so it won't recharge again. If you know somebody with an external vape charger that you can put these cells into, sometimes you have some success in reviving the cell using those external chargers. It's always a good idea just to make sure that the cell chemistry hasn't suffered and that the cells don't get overly warm when they're in that external vape charger. So if you know somebody with an external charger, that may get you out of trouble. But regardless, let's have a look at how to get in there and change the core. So unscrew the main part of the Saber like so, and you will have access to the core. This is what you would normally do if you want to charge your Saber. Now, make sure that your hands have no metallic items on there, no rings, no jewellery, nothing else, because you are dealing with a exposed electronics board here, and you don't want to accidentally short and damage your board. Get your Allen key that came with your Saber, pop it into the screw that sits at the back of the switch assembly. And this is a long M4 grub screw that, when fully inserted, pushes up against the back of the switch assembly, pushing it into its little recess. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove that like so. So what you'll notice, this core is a little bit looser, and this switch assembly, you can kind of easily push it down to that recess. Sometimes it'll push all the way down, sometimes you might get a wire trapped underneath it, you've got to push it a little bit harder. But ultimately what you want to do is just push this in with your thumb, and if your cell has charge in it, if you're doing this with a non-flat battery, you could accidentally activate your Saber. Just be aware of that. It won't do any damage, it's just a noisy distraction. But anyway, thumb the assembly in and you should be able to pull your core out. It's as easy as that. Okay, so now if you want to get your cell out, you could get the Allen key and just try and tease it out from the ends. I find the easiest thing to do is try and hit the end of your chassis against that finger there and catch the battery in your palm, because if you go like that, when the core stops, the momentum from the cell may pop it out. Like so. Okay, that's all you need to do. So you can either try and charge this in an external device, or if you have a new cell, just simply reinsert it. Look inside the battery cavity here, you'll see a positive and a negative end. This is the positive part of the cell, that's the negative base. So positive here, negative here, put your positive end in like so, and in goes your cell. Now we just need to reinsert that into your Saber. So I tend to do it like so. So you line the switch up, and the switch kind of raises a little bit to kind of lock itself in there. Then you just need to put in the grub screw at the back. If you feel any hard resistance, stop. You may have cross-threaded it, or your core may have shifted. Always make sure that core is aligned like so, but in most cases the long grub screw just screws in like so. And you see what happens when it gets towards the end as you screw it in. That switch assembly kind of rises into that recess, and you can no longer push it down. Then all you have to do is stick on the base of your Saber and you're ready to go. And that's all there is to it. And of course at this point, with the proper revitalized cell in there, it may be worth just double checking that the charging circuit is working. And yeah, you should be all ready to go. Of course, before you do any of this, always make sure that your cable's right. If anything, if you have problems with your Saber charging, always check the cable first. They can get tangled, pulled, yanked around, and generally quite easily damaged when they're kicking around your electrical outlets. So always make sure that your issue isn't with your cable first. Otherwise, that's how you change a battery in an N series Saber. Any questions? As always, just drop us a line. Thanks very much.